Well, that's right here. This is the remnants of a beautiful greenhouse, or what could have been a pretty greenhouse, that I put in at the end of last summer. I sticked it up, I started to pour the footers, I got the sides put in, and a 90-mile-an-hour wind came across this valley and wiped it out. And in the midst of that, I was frustrated, I was bummed, but I thought, I don't even really know how to grow food. So I figured I should probably learn how to grow food, especially in this region of the country where it's so tough to do so. I thought I'd better reach out to somebody who was the best of the best and knew what they were doing. Well, I found my buddy Zach, an unbelievable farmer from right here in Wyoming who's been doing it for years, doing it in a unique and innovative way that I knew not only we could use on this farm to be able to grow food for our family, but that would help the rest of the country, the rest of the world. Well, I thought that information might be useful to you guys, so that's why you're out here with me. Let me go show you what Zach said.
In America, for sure, there's very few people doing this. I think a lot of people would be interested in having a constant supply of food from your backyard. You don't need to go to the store, only having to spend 1 to 5 hours a week, and saving probably at least $1,000 a year on groceries, mostly 1 hour a week, because the only time you're gonna spend 5 hours is when you're like planting it in the spring. Really simple 600 feet of space. This is 2,100 square feet, okay? So we're talking like a quarter of this greenhouse is what I would do for just my family. The biggest ROI you can get when starting off growing food is soil. So if you got a limited amount of money and you wanna grow food as fast as possible, you wanna invest in your soil as much as you can. I would do a really simple no-dig garden. All you need to do to start that process, and you can do this any time of year, as long as there's not 2 feet of snow on the ground like right now. But you could do this any time of year. You could do it July, you could do it December, any time of year. You go to Home Depot, you buy builder's paper, which is basically cardboard, but you could spread it over a large space, much easier than just going to the recycling center and getting it for free. Get one of those rolls of builder's paper for about 15 bucks, spread that over your 600-foot space, and then you buy specifically OMRI certified compost at Home Depot. Buy enough to do 6 inches in your beds. This is something you only have to do once. And then you go and buy wood chips at Home Depot, or you can get them for free, whatever. But again, you need to buy 6 inches deep, because you need 6 inches to kill whatever's growing in your space now. You lay those beds out in about this wide, like 30 inches wide, about 25 feet long, and that's one bed. Do 4 of those, 6 inches deep with compost, and then you want your pathways to be roughly 15 inches at least. You know, you can make them as wide as you want. And then buy a wobbler sprinkler. This makes the water come out so it's like rain. It's really even watering. Most of your impact sprinklers are not going to get you a good results because there'll be patches of dryness, but this is a really simple way to start, and you could just water a 25 by 25 foot space, which is about 600 square feet, to plant right away. You know, so you can just go ahead and buy seeds. You could either just directly seed them in the ground, or get a really simple grow light setup for about $200, which I guarantee will pay for itself compared to buying plants at a nursery. You'll spend $200 in 1 year if you were just going to buy plants at a nursery. That $200 investment will grow you thousands of dollars of food. I like to buy seed 2 or 3 times a year because I want it fresh. It increases germination rates, and you want to buy from a good quality company. But most of the big names out there that you hear about, like Epic Gardening, Baker Creek, Johnny's, High Mowing Organic, those are all good companies. They're going to give you high quality seed. If I was homesteading, I would just do the greenhouse and do it really well, grow really great summer crops, just like we do on the farm, and then plant it for winter, and then start plants in trays and indoors all the time, every year, just like we do. So like every week of the year, you're starting seeds indoors, and that way you kind of have a constant supply of half-grown plants to put in the ground that shortens the amount of time your food takes to grow. And then basically, you just keep those 4 beds planted with food all season long, so May through November. So if you just do that stuff, you could pretty much grow $1,000 of food your first year. The thing on the internet is most of the creators are in much warmer climates. When I first started, I'm scouring the internet for all sorts of information on this stuff, and most of the creators are in a very unrelated climate to me. And that matters a lot. Once you start doing this, you understand that, I can't use a technique that they use in California. It's just not gonna work here. If I'm able to get 2 to 3 crops a year in the same space in our short season, it allows people in much longer growing seasons to do the same very easily. So I know it's possible. This is a pretty common stat, but I believe 2% of the American population are farmers right now, and they're all like 65, 70. That's a problem. I think ultimately just people are really starting to care more about where their food comes from and the quality of stuff they can grow themselves versus what's going on at the store. And the uncertainty of what's going on at the store is just increasing. Quality of the stuff that I grow is always going to be 10 times better than the stuff at the store. This can change the world. I'm crazy enough to say that this can change the world because very few people are doing this around the world right now.
So as you can see, Zach's a passionate guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's got the experience, he's put in the years, and he's got the crops to prove it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna reclaim this greenhouse against that 90-mile-an-hour wind, and we're gonna do it the right way this time. We're gonna put in a 600 square foot no-dig garden with the cardboard, the compost, the wood chips, just like he said. We're gonna document it the whole way through. I'd love for you guys to join us to put in a 300 square feet in your backyard if that's what you got, 600 square feet, whatever. Let's just start growing and learning these lost arts that people a few generations ago knew like the back of their hand and have been lost. And we're gonna mess up along the way and we're gonna get some things right. But for me, that's what it's all about. It's why we named this place Lost Art Ranch. It's because there's so many things that a generation or two ago were just common knowledge and everyone knew them. And now we don't know them. And I think it's a worthwhile cause. I think we should learn these skills, get things right, get things wrong, so we can pass down that knowledge to our kids and to our grandkids. Y'all subscribe and join us as we start to put this place together. We've got 1,000 other projects out here on the ranch that I'd love for you guys to join us with. Y'all stay safe out there, and we'll see y'all on the other side.